You held an event on the 20th anniversary attack, 9/11 attack on America. You invited Mr. Hatim Bazilian, was the co-founder of Students for Justice in Palestine, and has publicly called for an intifada in the United States. Is this the way you celebrate 9/11? Another employee said in an affidavit that Mr. Reagan, quote, went around asking women if he could sniff their panties, close quote, at an October 2017 work party. She said another executive, quote, grabbed my upper thigh while I was driving. And she wrote you and asked you to investigate. And you said no, didn't you?
Wow, what really happened in this hearing has left a lot of people stunned. This wasn't just another routine confirmation process. This was a political courtroom, and Senator John Kennedy came prepared. What you're about to see is a moment when words mattered, past actions were brought into the light, and uncomfortable truths refused to stay hidden. Today, a Biden judicial nominee was put on the hot seat, and under pressure, the answers didn't quite match the record. You see, when power is questioned, only the truth survives, and as the old saying goes, the loudest silence is found in unanswered questions. Before we dive in, if you like honest breakdowns, real analysis, and fearless commentary, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. This channel is all about exposing confusion and bringing clarity to the surface. Now, let's set the stage.
You didn't tell Senator Graham the truth, did you?
Senator, I took an oath to tell the truth, and I have done so faithfully.
Now, on February 22nd, 2018, you spoke to the American Constitution Society. And this is what you said. The right to work movement is deeply racist. You said that, didn't you?
Senator, I do not have that speech in front of me. I have spoken on a number of occasions about the history.
You turned your notes over to us. You didn't read them before you turned them over?
Senator, I've spoken on a number of occasions about the history. I was not speaking about...
Are you saying that you didn't say that?
Senator, I've spoken on a number of occasions about the history.
Are you saying that you didn't say that?
I have turned over all of my notes from my speeches.
I don't think you're telling the truth, Ms. Berner. Let me ask you another question. Do you remember Mindy Sturgey?
No, sir, I do not remember.
I'm embarrassed you don't remember her. She was one of your union members. She alleged that she was the victim of sexual discrimination at one of your local unions. This is what she said. She alleged that one of the executives there asked her, quote, if she enjoyed rough sex and bondage. She said that the chapter president, Mr. Dave Regan, asked her, quote, does the carpet match the drapes? And, quote, what would you do for some jewelry? She alleged that Mr. Regan told another staffer, quote, that the only way she is getting a job is if she sucks my member of the male anatomy. Another employee said in an affidavit that Mr. Reagan, quote, went around asking women if he could sniff their panties, close quote, at an October 2017 work party. She said another executive, quote, grabbed my upper thigh while I was driving. And she wrote you and asked you to investigate. And you said no, didn't you?
Senator, I have dedicated my career to representing women and families. That has been my work.
You said no, didn't you?
Senator,
you told her that let her own chapter represent or investigate its own misconduct, didn't you?
Senator, I'm going to give you additional time, but I want the witness to be able to fully answer the question.
Senator, the letter that you are quoting from, I wrote in my capacity as counsel to my client. It was the position of my client, and I was acting as an advocate. You refused to investigate, though, didn't you? Senator, I believe that I have faithfully adhered to my obligations as an attorney for my client.
I don't think Ms. Sturgis would agree with you. In fact, Mr. Reagan, the chapter president, is still the president, isn't he?
I believe.
You don't even know?
Dave Reagan is the president of one of our local unions, of one of SEIU's local unions, yes.
Wow.
In this hearing, Senator John Kennedy is questioning a judicial nominee with a very controversial background. He's not trying to attack, he's trying to uncover the truth. He brings up a past statement calling the right to work movement deeply racist. Serious sexual misconduct allegations involving union leadership. A refusal to investigate wrongdoing. And connections to organizations linked to radical and extremist speakers. This isn't about politics for him, this is about credibility, judgment, and the kind of power we give to lifetime judges. Because let's face it, a shaky foundation cannot carry a strong house. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why this moment matters. So now that you understand what's at stake, let's dive in and watch the clip, and see what really happened.
Y'all held an event on the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attack on America. You held an event on the 20th anniversary 9/11 attack on America. And you invited as speakers. Your first speaker was Dr. Sami al-Arian. He was convicted of conspiring to provide material support, convicted in a court, to the Palestinian Islamic Jihad. And the Islamic Jihad participated in the October 7th massacre and mass rape. Your second speaker was Dr. Rahab Abdulhadi, who has organized panels for the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine. One terrorist, Leila Khalad. Ms. Khalad hijacked planes. You invited her as a speaker, or her mentor as a speaker. The third speaker you invited, Mr. Hatim Bazilian, was the co-founder of Students for Justice in Palestine and has publicly called for an intifada in the United States. Is this the way you celebrate 9/11? Have I said anything that was inaccurate?
Yes, Senator.
Tell me.
Senator, my involvement with the Center at Rutgers Law School, which is a preeminent law school in the state of New Jersey,
I can tell,
is on an advisory board that when my role was limited to providing advice on academic areas of research, primarily through a meeting held once a year. With regard to the event that you are describing, I've never heard of that event prior to today. It was never presented to the advisory board that I was part of. I know nothing about it. I know nothing about the speakers. I've never heard of any of those people.
How can you sit on an organization that would invite these terrorists, convicted terrorists, Counselor?
Senator, it is an advisory...
You didn't resign.
Senator, I never heard of that event until today. It is an advisory board where my role...
So you just had an epiphany today?
What stood out most in this exchange wasn't volume, it was pressure. Senator Kennedy didn't raise his voice. He raised the mirror. He simply asked for clarity. He asked for accountability. He asked for the same standard every American is expected to live by. And when the nominee couldn't confirm her own words, when she couldn't remember key statements, when responsibility was passed off as legal duty instead of moral duty, it revealed a deeper issue. Leadership without ownership is nothing more than a title. When serious allegations of harassment were made, the response was, let the same people investigate themselves. History has taught us one thing very clearly. When the judge and the defendant sit at the same table, justice never gets served. And let's not ignore the most disturbing part, the connection to an organization that welcomes speakers tied to extremist ideologies, even on the anniversary of 9/11. That is not forgetfulness. That is negligence. And as another old truth goes, silence in the face of wrong is a decision of its own. This is why Kennedy's questioning matters. This is why people are calling it powerful. This is why the room went silent. Not because he was disrespectful, but because he was undeniable. Now I want to hear from you. Did Senator Kennedy go too far, or not far enough? Do you think this nominee showed honesty and accountability? Would you trust someone like this with lifetime power in the judicial system? Drop your thoughts in the comments section. Your voice matters here, and if you agree that truth should never be negotiable, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who needs to see it. At the end of the day, this isn't just about one hearing or one nominee, it's about something much bigger. It's about whether truth still has a seat at the table in America's leadership. And as long as voices like Senator Kennedy's continue to ask the hard questions, there is still hope that justice won't be replaced by convenience. Thank you for watching. Stay informed, stay sharp, and stay on the side of truth. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you in the next one.